I'm Pastor Frank Toppich from Warren Community Church. Okay. Darren and Cheryl, who are overseeing this event, go to my church.
Oh, okay. All right. Kind of keep it in the church relationship.
Well, it happens that they started it, and I was kind of at the beginning wanting to support them. We want to bring as many churches on board as possible, so by all means, we are not keeping it exclusive. We want to get the resources that are all over that you've seen here into as many hands as possible, because I'm not the only one that talks to people struggling with addiction. I talk to a lot of other pastors and church members that also do, but they don't always know what to do or how to help them. So that's what this is for, to give people the tools and the resources.
It's a really large epidemic, that's for sure.
It is heartbreaking to see.
What is it I was reading? There are 94 people in this country an hour who lose their life to drug overdose.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but they're pretty
substantial.
Pretty substantial. And all you need is one. That's how this whole thing started. I'm sure you heard Darren and Cheryl's story. Somebody they were close to lost their life from an overdose, and they said, what can we do? And that's where this came from.
6 months time, you folks have put this together is really amazing.
It is, and it's just somebody deciding to do something. And you never know what God will do if you just say, all right, God, here I am, send me.
Help me on this. This problem's a little too big for me.
Oh boy, you don't have to deal with people that are dealing with addiction too long before you realize, I can't help this person. I don't have what it takes. This is something that's going to have to be a heart change that only God can do.
All right, give Katie another round of applause.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the insight on this whole thing. Well, thank you so much.
I've enjoyed talking. Thank you for coming.
While I'm riding along here on the car, I noticed these beautiful, look at purple tables and so forth, and I kind of looked, wait a minute, so I lassoed Amy in to tell me a little bit about the tables. Tell me about it, Amy.
So our tables are a memorial to recognize the 144 people that die every day to drug addiction from heroin and opiate overdose. That's why I coordinated this event after losing a brother to addiction. I said we have to do something to raise awareness. So not only do we have on one side the people that lost their lives, we want to celebrate hope because people do recover. So the teal dogs represent hope and inspirational words for those that are struggling.
Amy, thank you for your time. This is really neat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I found the poor lady hanging out here, manning the table. Who are you?
My name is Melanie King.
Okay. Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
Okay. And what are you doing here today?
I'm here volunteering with Hope Not Handcuffs. I'm an volunteer angel in Hope Not Handcuffs. And can I go into a little bit what we've got here?
Just a little tiny bit.
Okay, that is if anybody needs help with their addiction, they can go to any police station in Macomb County. That would one of those to be called and we'll get you into treatment.
I noticed on your material, my goodness, you have a huge amount of police departments that are involved in this, including our own Warren, Michigan State Police. I forget they're like 48 or 50. It's unbelievable.
It really is. They were happy if they could have one police station in Macomb County, and every single police station in Macomb County got immediately on board. So it's
amazing.
Fantastic. And it's a collaboration with Families Against Narcotics. Part of that also great raising awareness about the opiate addiction.
And of course, that's where we're sending you from, their display too. So you're actually doing a dual purpose here today.
I am.
What an adaptable lady. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Here in Halbridge Park for Rocket Resources, I'm talking to Mary. And Mary is the queen of the duct tape here. That's an important job.
That's right.
So, what all do you do with duct tape? More like, what can't you do?
It's the world's best tool, honestly. I was given a job by Cheryl, Darren's wife, to tape down the tablecloths on all the tables so that they didn't blow away. So that's what I'm doing. Anything I can do to help. So.
Okay, but that's not your full-time job.
No, that's not my full-time job. I am a laboratory director at Oakland Regional Hospital. I run the lab there. I work with Darren, so he's here. He supported my husband and I last year when my husband had an illness, and I'm here to help him today.
That seems fair enough. What comes around goes around.
Absolutely, and this is a great event, so we're happy to be here.
I know. This is an epidemic.
It is, and we haven't had anybody personally in our family be touched by it, but I do have a cousin who is a recovering alcoholic, so we haven't had the opioid part of it, but it is still
Yeah, you just
plagues
never
the family.
know.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Mary, I want to thank you for talking to me.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for being here.
Okay. Okay, we're at Helmage Park for Rock and Recovery, and I'm talking to two of the women here who are responsible for helping put this together. Cheryl
Yes. Hi.
and Courtney.
Yes. Hi.
Okay, Cheryl, give me a background on this, how you got involved.
Well, it was actually my husband, Darren. He's working over there with all the sound stuff and the bands. We were on Facebook one night, and we lost somebody that he coached in football, had passed away from a heroin overdose. And that was just the last straw for him. It was, he said, we've got to do something about this. Friends of ours had passed, and it was just too much. So he decided at that point that he wanted to do something with the bands, and he looked at me and he said, can you help me a little bit? And I said, I would love to. And that's where Rock and Resource was born. And then my niece, Courtney, she didn't hesitate to jump on.
No, my sister actually passed away from a heroin overdose, so I didn't even think twice about jumping on anything to prevent another family, another person going through what I saw my family go through, what I went through personally. Anything to prevent that, I'm definitely gonna. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay, now, how long have you been in existence?
About 6 months.
All right.
This whole thing, when we first started it, we thought it would be just a few hundred people coming together in support of it and trying to start something. And it just went absolutely crazy. CARE of Southeastern Michigan jumped on board. Hope Not Handcuffs, Brian's Hope, Project Vox,
Families Against Narcotics.
Families Against Narcotics, Live Right Structured Recovery Group. They all just jumped on board, and it became this huge event. And we are now actually doing our papers for a nonprofit, and we're hoping to do many more of these. We've been invited to a couple of other counties.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
It's so
really great.
It's so important to get the word out.
Exactly. Educate people, spread awareness that, this is a growing epidemic, and we just want to make our communities and our neighborhoods safer for future generations. We want everyone to be educated.
Until just recently, the only community response to people with addictions was to lock them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it. And a lot of people, will look at them and say they're worthless people. They're just drug addicts. They're just that. And it's not like that at all. These people who have addiction problems, it's a physical problem. It affects you physically. It becomes that point where it's no different to me than somebody having diabetes or heart disease, dementia. The list can go on. It is the same thing, and there's not enough awareness. Not enough people know about it, what to look for, or where to get help.
No,
So
not
that's-
everybody involved in this is a terrible person. I can't think of anybody who wakes up in the morning and says, hey, I think I'll be an addict.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is break the stigma.
Yeah.
Just to help people without locking them up, because that doesn't help them.
Exactly.
Well, ladies, Cheryl, Courtney, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you for talking
Thank
to
you.
us. Thank you.
Well, we're here with Johnny Williams. He doesn't talk with a deep voice like the guy on the radio. I just questioned him on him. Okay, well, you could be a lookalike, maybe. Lookalike? Yeah. If you can't sound like, maybe a lookalike. Johnny's with the Salvation Army. Johnny, how did you get involved in the Salvation Army? Tell me about yourself.
Well, I was a drug user, and I got caught one day in Wayne County and was sentenced to the Salvation Army. He gave me, he told me, the judge told me until he see progress. When I got there, the lady told me it was a 6-month program. So that's how this journey started for me. And that was in March 23rd, 2010. So I came through the program. I became an employee at one of the Salvation Army stores. I worked at stores 4 years. After 4 years of being at the stores, they called me down to the building on 4th Street and offered another position to me, which is the assistant resident manager. And that's what I do now, help assist the clients that come in the building.
Now, Johnny, you have actual experience then. You come through the program. I mean, you've lived this. You know what's going on, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And is it easy? No. But you have to have the willingness to stay clean before you can do anything. You know, you can't use anything that controls your mind. You know, anything that alters your mind is going to keep you off center. You know, through you not using drugs and Jesus Christ, the program worked for me.
Well, Johnny, I want to thank you, and I got one more question. Okay, what area are you out of? Like, I know Lansing and out that way has a branch. Is this a Detroit branch or what?
Yes, sir. We're on 4th Street in Detroit, 1627 West 4th Street, Detroit, Michigan.
Now, do you guys have like some place that we can go online and find out about you, like SalvationArmy.com? And your partner's going to bring over a sign, but I want you to orally tell me. Hi there, excuse me.
Yes, we do. And we do hiring every Tuesday. We hire people in different positions. The stores, the warehouse, programming department. All over the city, we hire people once a week.
How do we contact you?
Okay, we have a table here and
well, let's say I'm watching this video, okay, and somebody comes up and says, "Wow, I'd sure like to contact those people. They've got some real exciting programs going on." They got a phone number or something?
Yes, sir. We have a phone number. The phone number is 313-965-7760, and the extension is 234.
Now, would they ask for Johnny Williams or just anybody?
No, you just let them know that you're interested in our program, and they will explain the program to you and get you in there as soon as we can.
Okay, thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Take care.
I'm here with Mike, who is a member of the Warren Crime Commission. And Mike, the Crime Commission is volunteer but appointed by the mayor, is that right?
That is correct. We are a commission appointed by the mayor, a 12-body commission appointed by the mayor.
And your job is to see what's going on in the city and advise the mayor about what needs to be done?
Correct. Study crime statistics, find out what the police department needs, assist them, come up with ideas for the police department, and advise the mayor. Try to give him some good ideas to make Warren a safer place.
That's a good thing.
It is much, very much.
Okay, and Rock and Recovery, I think this is a great thing, because just locking somebody up because they're an addict, they come out, they're still an addict.
Exactly correct. So hopefully this brings a lot of awareness and does a lot of good to support the education and getting people off of drugs and keeping them safe.
Yeah, a treatment program might not be 100%, but if you just lock them up, that's 100% the other way. You've just reinforced it.
Exactly correct.
So this is a program that people can come up and not worry about if they said something, oh my gosh, I'm going to get locked up.
That is correct, yeah.
And there's lots of programs and lots of alternatives. And you're out here to help spread the word, right?
Exactly correct. Spread the word, support the event, and also about the Crime Commission. A lot of people in the city of Warren don't realize we have a Crime Commission. It's almost weekly where somebody is saying, we have a Crime Commission? I've never heard of it. I've lived here for 20 years. Well, yes, we have a Crime Commission. We do a lot of good things. We're coming up with new ideas. We actually, one of our members did a ride-along. Actually, it was myself, did a ride-along with the police about 2 months ago. And in the course of that ride-along, we did a recovery of about 24 bicycles.
Wow.
And most of those bicycles can't be returned because they didn't know who they belonged to. So we came up with a little ID card that we can hand out to residents. They put their bicycle serial numbers, identifying marks on it, keep it away in a file cabinet. When their bicycle gets stolen, they give it to the investigating officer. They now have something they can use to return bicycles.
That's a great idea.
So one of many ideas we've had lately.
I think that's great. I think you need more publicity about the things you do.
That's why you're here, and that's why we're here, and that's why our booth is here.
Okay, Mike, I want to thank you so much for talking to me. You have a great day.
Thanks, you also. Have fun. Stay cool.
How's everybody doing today? What a beautiful day. My name is Darren Burgess. I am the founder of Rock and Resource. Just one of many who've actually, others have put more time in than I have, but I appreciate everybody on our team. We have a lot going to happen today. We apologize for the delay. We had some power issues, but now they're all taken care of, and God is good. Amen. We're going to get started here in a minute. I just want to thank everybody who came out today to support this cause, because we all know it's an epidemic that's not going to get any better unless we do something about it. That's why we're here. That's why we've brought people all the way from Florida, from different cities in Michigan, to try to make a difference.
Well, I'd like to be able to invite to the podium Mayor Jim Fouts, who has been a super supporter of this event when he's heard about it. We got on the phone. He was on the phone with Cheryl and has done interviews and been really throwing as much of the efforts and power of the mayor's office behind this as he could. And for that, we really appreciate it. Mayor Jim Fouts, let's welcome him and thank him.
Begin with, I want to really commend Cheryl Burgess and her husband Darren, who have really been the leaders and inspiration in this. So I'd like to give a warm applause for Sharon and her husband, as well as Courtney Goodwin. I met Cheryl and Courtney a while back, and we had a long discussion in my office, and I ended up saying, well, what can I do? And Cheryl had some ideas, and certainly Courtney did. And I came prepared to give a long speech, but I decided I won't do that. I'll just talk based upon my concern, and I assume everybody's concern. The first thing is, I have an interest as the mayor of Warren, because Warren, like many other communities throughout the United States, has been hit pretty hard with heroin overdose deaths. In 2015, I believe we had about 7 or 9 deaths. In 2016, it went up 400% to 32 deaths. That is 32 too many deaths. If they have a support group, if they have other people like all of the people here who care, they don't relapse. They don't get into the problem of heroin. So we need to push the idea of having a connection, because a connection can end to the terrible solution of this disease. Now, that isn't to say that we need to go after the drug pushers, which I firmly believe that we must and we should. And you may or may not know, but I authorized the Warren Police Department to get involved with the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and through them we were able to go in and raid half a dozen drug houses in the city of Detroit. The drug problem, not all of it, but too much of it, is located, say, between Ryan and Mound Road in Detroit. And we raided those homes, and it resulted last September in the indictment by the federal grand jury, which Warren was part of 13 individuals, head of the Polo heroin drug trade. They were all convicted, and they're all serving jail terms. We cannot have any empathy or sympathy for the drug pushers or the drug houses. I want to do everything we can to give connections and help and save people's lives, but not the drug pushers. In addition to that, and this gives a little credit to Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer, who I have invited back. Bill Dwyer called me up maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he said, Mayor, do you know that we have Narcan? And I said, yes. I asked the former police commissioner to issue Narcan to all of our police officers to save lives, because Narcan will save lives. He said it was never issued. For some reason, the previous police administration didn't issue it. He said, can I have your permission to issue it? I said, yes. And would you believe, within a week, a young woman, around 30 years old, Officer Gajewski, found her lifeless, and he gave her the Narcan nasal spray, and she came back to life. Saved her life because of that. And since then, Commissioner Bill Dwyer, who I'm very proud to have as our police commissioner, said that we have likely saved 4 more lives from people who were under the influence of heroin, opiate, and we brought them back to life. So I think the most important thing is that we go after the drug pusher, we push to have connections with individuals that are under the influence of heroin or opiate, but also every police officer in the city of Warren is issued with Narcan. All fire people are issued with Narcan, and Narcan saves lives, and I urge every police agency in the state and every fire department to be well equipped with that so that we can save lives of people who deserve to be saved and who have given a connection, who have given a chance, can come back and be productive people. So maybe the whole purpose of this event today is to provide a connection, to provide education, as you said, Cheryl, awareness. Let people know there are people, there are families out there, there are children out there. And I think people forget that when someone gets on heroin, if they're pregnant, they pass it on to their children. And if not, it affects the entire life. So I want to do whatever I can to make this illness and this disease go away. And the only way we can do this, the only way anything is possible, is if we provide the necessary connection and support for this disease, which is sweeping the United States and has surpassed automobile accidents as the #1 cause of death among young people, and particularly accidents are #1 with this disease. So I thank you, and I appreciate Cheryl and Darren. And also we have a little presentation we're going to give you right now, Cheryl, that let's keep the connection going, because through connections we can save lives. Thank you. All right, I'd like to introduce John Johnson. John is of the Michigan Business Connection.
Yes, very good.
And I'll let you talk. He's going to present the check.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your support and your leadership here in the community. I am John Johnson, and I'm the president of the new Warren Area Chamber of Commerce. And under that banner, we've established a new Warren Community Foundation with the support and encouragement of the mayor. And so we had a fundraiser here, a running event here this past August. We raised some money for local community groups, and with the mayor's guidance and direction, we're here today to support this cause. And I'd like to have the mayor, if he would please, present this check to Rockin' Resources.
All right, this is a check that I'm encouraging more people to give more checks. But this is a check to Rockin' Resources, and Cheryl Burgess, you represent Rockin' Resources, does your husband Darren. So this is really a check to you, and a check to the kind of people like you that are going to provide the connections to save lives and make families whole. So I thank you, Cheryl and Darren. And this is
Next speaker we're going to have before we bring some music up is one of the groups or foundations that Mayor Fouts was talking about. A really big program that's starting to spread like wildfire throughout Michigan, and hopefully it might be, for all I know, through other states too. Hope Not Handcuffs is a very, very big and important group in the state of Michigan. And this next lady, who we're bringing up here because she is a lady, Miss Katie Donovan, is representing Hope Not Handcuffs. So everybody give a warm welcome to Katie Donovan of Hope Not Handcuffs.
Hey everybody! Where's everyone in the, what is that thing called? Thank you. Pavilion people! My name's Katie Donovan. I'm the Vice President of FAN and the co-founder of Hope Not Handcuffs. I'm also the mother of an addict. And these were words that I never thought I would say in my life. I was that normal PTA mom, the brownie leader, and I thought I was doing all the right things. And unfortunately, I did experience this journey. And during this 10-year span when my daughter struggled, I stumbled through those hoops and I did everything wrong, but I thought I was doing everything right. And at one point, my daughter had overdosed and she had been in the hospital for about 7 hours. But I didn't get the call until 7 hours later. And when I got there, she was shoved in a corner in a hallway with absolutely no medical attention being given to her. At that point, for me, that was my game changer. I said, I need to stop talking about what needs to change in this industry and in this world of addiction that we're living in, and I need to be a change maker. And I ended up leaving my career, and I devoted my life to this because this is affecting everyone. This isn't just my problem or somebody else's problem. This is your problem, my neighbor's problem. This is our problem as a community. In Macomb County, we have the second highest death rate in the entire state. This isn't an inner city issue. This isn't a moral failing. Hope Not Handcuffs is something that we had watched another police department out of Gloucester, Massachusetts began about 1.5 years ago. And it was so creative. It was so motivating, honestly. There was this police chief that said, you know what? I'm tired of arresting all these people. I'm tired of it. You have a problem with addiction? I want you to walk into my police department and I will find you treatment. This blew my mind. And we modeled this program really after that. And honestly, we started this, talking about this with 4 people. That was it. 4 people. There was 4 of us saying we have to make a change here because we know it's not going to come from the president. We know it's not going to come from the government. It takes a community like us. It takes grassroots efforts like Jeannie, who is so amazing, from Brian's Hope. We have to bring all of these resources together. So we went to the police departments with this crazy idea. And honestly, their reaction was, you want me to do what? Are you kidding? Katie, we don't have the resources for that. We don't have the manpower for this. And I understood that. We certainly didn't want to take away from their manpower. We need them. We need them on the streets. So we went back to the drawing board, and that is what structured Hope Not Handcuffs. And when we launched Hope Not Handcuffs, little did we know, but we ended up being the largest force in the entire United States that launched this at one time. We are now known nationwide, and we just started 6 months ago. It blows my mind, absolutely blows my mind. We started with 21 police departments. We are now in 33 police departments in 5 counties, and it's growing. I'm telling you, it's like this big movement that has started across the state of Michigan. We have reach outs, gosh, almost every other day from different police departments, chiefs. I want to know more. How can I help? How can we do what you're doing? The premise of Hope Not Handcuffs is you can walk into a police department, any police department in Macomb County, along with the other ones that I had listed, and all you have to say is, I'm struggling with a disease. And that police officer will call one of our volunteer angels, and they will show up and make the calls to get you a bed and treatment. We've been so successful, sometimes we've been able to place someone within about 45 minutes of them walking in. We partnered with community organizations all throughout the state. Treatment centers, Care of Southeastern Michigan, EMS providers. EMS is volunteering their time. They transport people to treatment for us because they know it's needed, not because they have to get paid for it. In 6 months' time, I think our latest figures, Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong, we have placed 517 people into treatment. It's been absolutely incredible, and we need more resources in the state. We know this, and we're working on it. We're also working on trying to get involved in the hospitals with a protocol to be put into the hospitals, because where do families go? I know where I went when I was freaking out. I don't know what to do with my daughter. I would either call the police or I would take her to the emergency room. And when someone goes to the emergency room with a substance abuse issue, what happens? Maybe they're given some Narcan if that's needed, but there's nothing that they'll do. If they do have an overdose and they're brought in, they're discharged, sometimes within an hour. What is that? This is the only disease that is treated with such stigma. It's absolutely horrific. And most of the issues that I'm seeing, especially now, this started from the doctors. This started with the overprescribing, and we have to make changes. I've been invited to speak next Wednesday in Lansing by the governor's office to testify for legislature for the opiate bills. We have to do this. Everyone can do this. Everyone can go to Lansing and testify. You come, you make your statement, you share your story. They need to hear this. Their heads are under a rock. Seeing numbers is one thing. When you hear someone's story and you connect with them on a personal level, that's what makes change. Mayor Fouts was talking about a connection. I do believe when we connect with people from the heart, when we connect with people from the soul on an emotional basis, someone they know is struggling, whether they want to admit it or not, and that's okay. It took me a long time to talk about this myself as well. They'll make a change. And you can make changes too. Hope Not Handcuffs, again, was started with 4 people. We had no idea what the heck we were going to do. We had no idea if anyone would even use the program. But by God, we have 33 police departments now doing this, and it is working. Is it perfect? No. We tweak sometimes 10 times a day. But it's better than doing nothing. And if you have a voice, if you have a passion, if you have an idea, follow it. Don't wait for someone else to try and do something. You can do it. You gather your community resources because they're there, they're out there, they want to help. Building this community together is what is needed, because you know we're losing a generation every day. If you or someone you love is struggling, Hope Not Handcuffs, we have a table here, FAN has a table here. Please take brochures, take information. If someone is here that needs treatment, we'll get you the help that you need. Just walk up. Thank you so much.